Welcome to this video on site plumbing water systems. We're going to start by creating a new project on the BIM Server Center. We can name the project, select which type of project it is, we can change the visibility settings of the project, and we can manage the collaboration requests of the project. Next, we close down the BIM Server Center and open up the Ifc Builder. We have opened up a model of an office block and we can see the 3D model of the offices. We have changed the transparency of the walls of the building so that we can see inside the building and view the appliances that we'll be working with on site plumbing water systems. You can see the bathrooms inside the offices, which we will be creating the installation for later. You can also see an HVAC installation that has already been installed. We can now export this IFC to the BIM Server Center. We want to select the project that we created earlier on the BIM Server Center website. Once the export has been completed, we can close down the Ifc Builder and open up Site Plumbing Water Systems. We give the project the same name as we did before, and we now choose to import the IFC file from the project that we created earlier. We can see from the 3D model that the IFC file is the same as the one we were working with before. This screen is used to choose the configuration that you wish to work with in your project. You can enter your own information if you wish. You can see there is no information stored here yet. Down the right hand side of the screen there are a number of flags which represent the water supply configuration for that country. We are going to use the UK code for this example. And as you can see, all the data from the UK code has now been imported. We now need to select the appropriate consumptions for the toilets and sinks for the building to be imported. And as you can see, the import is now complete. We can view the different floors of the building to make sure that the consumptions have been imported correctly, which they have been. The kitchen sinks on this template have no consumptions yet, so we need to add these consumptions manually. We can use the drawing options to make sure that the sinks are in line with each other. And we can now move the labels to make the drawing look cleaner. The next step is to add a supply connection point and to place it outside of the building in the street somewhere. We can also add a water meter and place it outside of the building as well. We now need to add cold water stop valves for the consumptions. And we also have to add hot water stop valves. We can now select hot water production and add a water heater into the system. And the next thing to do is to connect all of this installation using pipes. First we select the cold water horizontal pipe and start to connect the supply connection point to the rest of the installation. If you look at the 3D model, none of this has appeared yet. But once we click the 3D button, it will refresh the model and everything in the 2D model will now appear in the 3D model as well. As you can see, the pipework is all appearing on the floor of the building, which is not what we want. So we can edit the height of the pipes so that the installation appears in the ceiling of the ground floor. We need to make sure the elevation of the outdoor installation is fixed to 0 meters. Once the results are updated and the 3D view is refreshed, we can view these changes that we have made. We can view the sizing information about a pipe by simply clicking on it. If we select the first and second floor, we can see that we still need to complete the installation for the consumptions on these floors. We know that some of the installation on these floors is the same as the installation on the ground floor, which we have already completed. So all we need to do is copy the elements on the ground floor and we can paste these onto the first and second floors. When we look at the first and second floors now, we can see the installation has been copied correctly, but we need to connect all the different floors using vertical pipes. We start with the Coldwater vertical pipe and we choose the initial and final elevations for the pipe. The same has to be done for a hot water pipe. Once the results are updated and the 3D view is refreshed, we can see these changes in the 3D model. Once the installation has been completed for the whole building, we can view the reports for this project. We can view the design criteria, the design results report, and the materials list. We can also view the drawings for this report. We add the whole installation to the drawing. We can format the size of the drawing. We can move elements of the drawing. And we can view the legend at the bottom of the page. We can also view a graphical analysis of the results. We can see the velocity and the scale at the bottom of the screen. To make the visibility better in the 3D model, we can hide the building and just show the installation that we have created. We can change the settings to view the pressure loss in the span. And finally, the last thing that is required is for us to export this file back to the BIM Server Center. Once the export is completed, we can go back to the BIM Server Center website and make sure that this file has been exported correctly. We can now return to the original IFC file and we can update the BIM model to include the water supply installation that we have just created. In the 3D model, you can see the water supply installation can now be seen along with the HVAC installation that was created previously. Thank you for watching this video.